Alright, what's up, you guys? Welcome to what may possibly be the last Shark News episode of October, as we will officially be heading into November very soon, and with the Halloween spirit right around the corner, I figured let's do the last update for GIJOE Classified for the month of October, as it seems like in the next few months we might have some very bleak lack of news in the sense of it's going to be Thanksgiving pretty soon. We're going to have Christmas and we're also going to have New Year's. January is usually nothing. And then February of 2026, we should see G.I. Joe Classified come back in the limelight in the sense of more new reveals and product pre-orders, etc., because in February it will be G.I. Joe Day. And in 2026, there'll be a lot more things I'll talk about in the sense of upcoming live events and all that other good shit. But for now, because we're not too far away from the new year and with the holidays coming up, we are aware that there's going to be some new G.I. Joe classified sales going for Black Friday and probably the last, I guess you can say, Hasbro reaching this type of panic mode to meet like fourth quarter sales. So then there's gonna be like a bunch of figures going up for order that are gonna be literally half off or even more. I don't know, but I'll be sure to post all the links to that on the community or post tab page. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. But for the time being, let's go ahead and take a look at everything we know so far for G.I. Joe Classified that we've basically have gone over in the past few months, or even recently, like a week ago. So again, this might be the last update that we have for Classified for 2025, I believe, just in the sense of, with the holidays coming, I don't know if we're going to get any new product reveals or even anything at pre-orders at this point. So that, the pre-orders that are coming up may be the last one for the year. So with that being said, first things first, let's go ahead and take a look at what we know so far for the last, I guess this will be the last pre-order. No, there's still one more. Anyways, on November 3rd, Pythona will be going up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse for the general public. For those that were not premium members, we were aware that she was available from New York Comic-Con as well as MCM London, which recently just happened. And for those that were premium members, she was literally up for like possibly an entire week without any hesitations or any hassles of the figure selling out. So this pretty much means that for those that are not premium members who don't want to spend that extra money yearly, this may be your chance to get your Pythona figure. And if you guys haven't seen, I was given 2 Pythona figures as a subscriber gift. So as someone who happily owns this figure, I will tell you she is freaking fantastic. I will have a review on the toy channel probably tomorrow, depending on what time you watch this video. But again, according to some collectors who told me that BMac posted on his socials that there's plenty of Pythonas to go around, so we shouldn't see any type of shortages or selling out of this figure. So let's fingers crossed and see how that works for all of you guys who weren't able to get this figure. So once again, she is a 10 out of 10 figure for me. Freaking great accessories, great detail, etc. So even if you hate Cobra Law, again, we do know that Once a Man Cobra Commander is out, Nemesis Immortal Enforcer is out, the Royal Guard has been teased as a digital render. Pythona has just been released, which means that the last remaining figure is going to be none other than Cobra Law's famous Globulus. So I already shared my thoughts on how I want Globulus to be, so hopefully they don't, shit on the fans and give us like a cheaped out version of that character. He needs to be fantastic. So otherwise, we'll save our thoughts for Globulus later, but for now, Pythona, November 3rd. Make sure you guys keep in mind, because this will probably be the last update that I have for Pythona, unless I do like a shorts video, but yeah, we'll see how this one goes. So best of luck to all you guys who do not have this figure. Up next, for the coming soon figures, we were also aware that during MCM London, we got some new name-only reveals and some other interesting announcements for some figures to come out in 2026. So during San Diego Comic-Con, we were shown, or not shown, but we were given the name-only reveal of Iceberg. Sorry, I was about to say Ice Viper. It's Iceberg. And with Iceberg, we know that they're going to heavily promote the Haslab Snowcat, which is going to be released next year, probably around like summer and fall. So they're heavily focusing on the Arctic sub teams, which means Iceberg should hopefully look freaking fantastic. And then in 2026, we should see a lot more Arctic characters to kind of really create that FOMO or that incentive for those who back the Haslab that you're getting all these other Arctic characters for the the Haslab Snowcat and et cetera, just to make the whole scenario and photography look fantastic. And then to complement Iceberg, we were also shown that there's an Arctic Assault Hisstank, which is a made-to-order. It's going to be a 30-day window process where you have 30 days to place as many orders as you want. Similar to like a Haslab, but a mini version with the exceptions of all the bells and whistles and tiers. You are getting one figure associated to this, at least that we know of for now. During the MCM London, I believe they did say they're going to provide more information later this year, which I guess in November or December, we'll see what happens. But again, the Arctic Assault will be a made-to-order. It's not a Haslab. You'll be able to buy as many as you want, and we don't know the price point at the moment, but with the Haslab Snowcat coming out, with Iceberg being announced, and then the Arctic team hopefully thriving in 2026, this will be hand in hand with those the Snowcat vehicles, so and the whole Arctic theme. And then we have the 4 new name-only reveals, which was Hydra Viper. Now, I've already talked about Hydra Viper a few times, but I will say his mask should and hopefully look freaking terrifying, because if you have the original O-ring, you know that he had just the red mask, which wasn't that detailed and great. But if you look at the artwork of Hydra Viper, that is scary stuff. So hopefully Hydra Viper looks fantastic. Ninja Force Zartan, I personally don't care for it, but a lot of you actually like this figure and have a liking to it and a personal attachment, so I'm happy for you guys who do. For me, it's a hard pass, but as much as I'm a big fan of Ninja Force, I really do not need another Zartan. So with them kind of still heading into the Ninja Force, that's pretty good. Happy to, see at least they're giving us some different sub-team wild characters, and Zartan will come with like a mohawk, so cool. Zanya or Zanya, however you want to pronounce it, Dreadnoks is going to be another freaking awesome looking figure, because my first introduction to her was in one of the comics that I bought back at FYE when I was like, I don't know, this was like in the early 2000s or late 2000s, I don't remember. So I remember my first introduction to her was seeing her with the green dreads, and she just looked like a complete badass, and I think that they'll do a really great job. And then seeing how we do have another Dreadnought on the way, with her, being part of, in the family of the Dreadnoughts and Zartan. So we should see Thrasher at some point, hopefully maybe the Thunder Machine, I don't know, but great to see her in the lineup. Welcoming addition. And then last but not least, we have Taurus and Reddog, which was something that we've known of through leaked listings. So we were aware of these 2 figures for like almost half a year now, but we finally got a confirmation of Taurus and Reddog. So seeing how we have the Mercer and Sergeant Slaughter 2-pack just released, these 2 will be a 2-pack, and hopefully will not hopefully, but it will conclude the Renegades, the Renegades group. Therefore, I would have really preferred to have a 3-pack with Taurus, Reddog, and Mercer. However, this is fine too. I will do a video later going over all these particular 4 figures again, but in a future episode, just because we still got a long way to go, so I don't want to spoil anything for those who don't know much about these characters. And last but not least, we have Flash, which was a leaked listing as well. We were also aware that they're almost completing the last original 13 G.I. Joe classified characters, or G.I. Joe characters. So with the latest reveal of Zap, we know that the last 2 figures are going to be Flash and Grand Slam. So thank you to all of those who also tossed your input in my original 13 video where I talked about Grand Slam. People wanted the jumper with Grand Slam with the silver armor rather than the red. I mean, you can, because both Flash and Grand Slam look the same in the sense of the red padding, but there's also the silver version with the jump, so that should be a nice little incentive for those, or maybe we could get a re-release. I don't know. Or maybe they'll just give us both versions. Who the hell knows? But otherwise, these are basically all we know of so far at the moment. If anything else comes up, I'll be sure to update this list. But otherwise, we are ending 2025 with a pretty low end of figure reveals, but they're not bad. I mean, Hydro Viper to me, Hydro Viper and Taurus and Reddog and Zanya, whatever, are going to be the most, and Iceberg. So yeah, I mean, actually pretty good figures to look forward to. Never mind, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. All right. So then moving on in terms of pre-orders, right after Pythona, which will go up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse on November 3rd for those who don't own that figure. The latest pre-orders that were just revealed during MCM London will be on November 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have the female Crimson Guard, then we have the original 13 Zap, and then we have Crazy Legs. Now, I've already shared my thoughts on all three of these figures, so this is just a brief overview on for those who want to pre-order these figures. A lot are saying that this is probably a weak wave, etc., and also not really complaining, but just sharing their frustrations of how this is a retro card release rather than a mainline release, which I have a video. I'm working on that, so stay tuned for that video in November. So I'm having fun with that one. But otherwise, Crazy Legs, of course, I want. The other two I can kind of wait on because I haven't really collected the original 13 yet. And then female Crimson Guard, I'm not really an army builder, but if I ever get it somewhere down the line, sure. Otherwise, it's no harm done for me. So November 4th, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will do another brief update later as we get closer towards November or early November, so stay tuned for that, but keep this date in mind. As for the 2026 lineup, or basically the figures that we know so far, excluding the name-only reveals, here are everything we know in terms of digital renders, as aside from these three, which is the female Crimson Guard, Crazy Legs, and Zap, we will definitely eliminate these three off the list by November 4th, which means we will go back to the original four digital renders that we had previously, which was the Royal Guard, which looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see this in action figure form. It's gonna look sick. And then we have the Arctic characters of Flint, Lady Jaye, and Frostbite, which are part of the Haslab Snowcat. Otherwise, we don't have any other digital renders. They've pretty much knocked out a good amount of figures for pre-orders and digital renders. And if I remember correctly, looking at the screen, we recently got Hit and Run, Big Lob, Night Viper, Mole Rat Stage 2, and Lifeline. Then we had the Ghost Viper pre-order going up. Then we had the new retro Cardback Flint, new artwork. We had Steeler and Short Fuse going up for pre-order, the Legacy Police Officer. Let's see here. And then the Haslab also went up for pre-order. And then we had other figures and other like Sci-Fi, Desert Scorpion, Grim Viper, and Wetsuit. Then we had the Cold Slither 4-pack. We had also Mainframe going up that went up for pre-order. The Night Force, Beachhead, and Quick Kick. Then we also had the Haslab Rattler that was also shipping during this year. We also had pre-orders for Budo, Hawk with the MMS, Sergeant Slaughter, Mercer 2-pack, Slice and Dice, which was insane. And then the Retro Bat and the Retro Green Shirt Army Builder. And then we also had figures like Armored Cobra Commander, Major Blood, Crankcase with the Awe Striker, Snake Eyes version 4, and then what else am I missing? Snake Eyes version 4. Oh, and then Mutton Junkyard, and then we have the Cobra Claw. Oh, holy shit, man. Monkey Wrench. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these figures went up for pre-order. Crystal Ball, Blowtorch with the retro Cover Girl and Dark Lawn, as well as the Snake Eyes with the Polar Bear. Oh my god, it's freaking insane. And then we had Frag Viper, the Retro Tele Viper. We had the Mass Device Breaker. Did I say Law and Order already? Probably maybe Law and Order. And then the Legacy series Firefighter, as well as no, that was a police officer. So yeah, holy shit, man, that was a lot of figures this year. Wow, wow, wow! Just by going over this list, maybe I forgot a few, but otherwise that was a lot. Anyways, that was pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed that roughly small little update. Thank you guys all for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I'll have another video in November, but this might be the last Shark News video for October. Otherwise, let's see what else happens. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you're one of those that are casually watching this channel, go ahead and subscribe. It'll definitely help the channel grow. If you're already subscribing or subscribe, thank you so much. So with that being said, have a great Halloween. Enjoy. I was wanting to go live, but things happened, so can't do that. Otherwise, enjoy your October, and we'll see what the next reveals will be. Hopefully something will happen. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and talk to you all in the next episode.